What's up? It's James from James Reptiles. Today we're going to be talking about crested geckos and getting into them and how much they cost, how easy it is. So there's kind of 2 to 3 different ways you can get into them. There's keeping pets, there's breeding, and there's breeding your pets. So let's first talk about keeping pets. If you're gonna keep as just strictly pets, usually you're gonna have like 1 or 2, and you're gonna pay usually a lot for them. I would say for like a basic gecko, you probably pay like $60, $70, and if you want a nice one, you pay a lot more. And they go upwards of there's like the lily whites and xanthics now, so they go for like thousands of dollars. And some people I know will have those as pets, but part of that is the enclosure. And if you want just pets, you're gonna want a display enclosure, which is a nice glass enclosure, and they just could go for $100 for like an exoterra or something like that. And then all the plants and decoration, if you want it bioactive, you're gonna spend a lot of money and a lot of time on that. And I know a lot of people want that, but they also want a little bit of income with it, and that's where it's pets as breeders. So they just do that like twice, and they have a pair. They make sure they have a pair, and then they just like put them together and have one of them lay eggs. And I think that works too. I think spending a lot of money is probably not the best idea though. If you really want to breed, you should go the breeder route. It'll save you a lot of money. But I understand the appeal of a glass terrarium. I have one up there. And I also have 2 tubs that are like breeder style tubs. And I was just given that glass aquarium, a terrarium, so I use it. But the 2 tubs are a lot more efficient. They're lighter. I can take them down and add Pangea and spray them down every other day like I do. But as a breeder, it's just more cost effective. Like instead of buying all those cages, those tall cages, I can buy the plastic ones a lot cheaper. If anything happens, if they break, they're a lot easier to replace. They're less likely to break because they're not glass. But another thing is breeders aren't really worried about, like they are, but when you're first getting into it, you're not really worried about what your geckos look like. I think it's more about getting 2 geckos and understanding, watching them grow up and understanding how they sex out and where to look for the bulge and the pores and seeing how much the geckos eat. And that's a lot of it, is understanding how they grow. Because anyone can just buy 2 adults and breed them. But if you don't know how to raise the babies up, how are you going to have more breeders the next year or sell sub-adults, stuff like that? Pet owners you'll see more on Facebook for the most part is like the Facebook warriors telling you need bigger enclosures and you need more plants and you need to mist more often and all sorts of stuff. Breeders will be the ones that'll like tell you to leave the geckos alone and let them do their thing. Sorry, that is my nose. And it's really weird because you would think with the more attention to detail that people who keep pets would have more success either breeding or caring for their animals. But people who breed and leave them alone oftentimes have less problems because there's less to go wrong if you're just not messing with the gecko at all, if you're just leaving it on its own. There's less human interaction, there's less components to get messed up. And the people who keep in big pet enclosures and let them breed, I think that's really a good idea. It's just, I don't know, to me it's pick a side, I guess. That's a lot about what I have today. Also, breeders are more likely to eventually get nicer geckos So if your end goal is to get nicer geckos and not like spend your out of pocket money, you should start breeding because then you make money off your cheap geckos, and the next year you buy nicer ones. You make money off of those, and you buy nicer ones, and eventually you have like lily white exanthics, which right now is like the peak. So that's cool. Those will be, everyone will have those. Not everyone, but like 2 or 3 companies will have those next year.